Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. This week's Parashat is Parashat Beha'alotecha. At the beginning of this week's Parashat, Aharon, the high priest, is given a new command. He is told that every single day he must clean and light the menorah. Now, we all know what a menorah is. We have in our homes, we have in our shuls. It's the 8-branched candelabra that we light on Hanukkah. 8 days, once a year. The menorah in the Mishkan and subsequently the Beit HaMikdash was slightly different though. It was 7-branched and it was lit every single day. Rashi, who is probably the most prolific medieval commentator on Jewish texts, writes a very interesting thought on this command. He writes that Aaron was a bit upset, maybe you can even say jealous. He saw the princes of all the tribes bringing unbelievable offerings to the Mishkan for its inauguration. His tribe was left out. The tribe of Levi was left out. It was not given a day to bring these fantastic offerings like every other tribe was bringing. And Aaron was upset. So Hashem said to him, don't worry, I'll give you something better. I'll let you clean and light the menorah. There are two questions which I have on this understanding of Rashi. The first one is, on the last day of the inauguration, and for thousands of years to come, Aaron and his descendants will be bringing carbonot every single day. Why is he upset that for one day he missed out, when for thousands of years he would be the one bringing it? The second question, imagine all of your friends are invited to the best party. Amazing, and everyone is going. And the organizer of the party comes to you and says, I'm really sorry, I don't have a space for you at the party, but I've got something better for you. I'm going to let you wash the dishes after the party. It doesn't seem quite like a balanced, it just doesn't seem fair. But yet that's what Aaron was given. He's told, you can clean the menorah. Yeah, you're not invited to the party, but you can clean up afterwards. It doesn't seem right. In order to answer this, we first have to understand that Aaron wasn't upset about the animal offerings that are being brought. He wasn't upset about the golden utensils that are being brought. He was upset about one particular thing. The fact that all the princes are bringing incense as part of their offerings. Yes, Aharon would offer incense every day as well. This incense was different. What was different about it is that it came from a private person. All future incense offerings were publicly donated. This was the only time it came from somebody private. And Aaron knew that the offering of the incense was such a special way of connecting to God. And he felt that he was being ignored. He was not being given the same opportunity as the rest of the tribes. And that is why he was upset. But God told him, there's an order in which things have to be done. The order is, in order for the incense to be bought, what first has to happen is the menorah needs to be cleaned and lit. If the menorah has not yet been cleaned and lit, the incense cannot be brought up either. And let's think about it. There's a very interesting story of Gary the Greatest. Some of you may have heard of this story. There was a strong man called Gary, and he worked in a fair. And every day he'd be in the fair wearing the same clothes, with his gloves strapped on tight. And he would shout in a booming voice, anyone who can lift heavier weights than me, anyone who can lift things which I cannot, anyone who can bend iron bars that I cannot bend, I'll give you a fantastic prize. And every single day people tried and people failed. Not once had anyone won the prize from Gary. One day a little old lady was walking through the fair, and as usual Gary was there booming out his prize potential, and the little old lady thought to herself, and she came up with a genius plan. She went over to Gary and said, Gary, I've got something you cannot lift, and it's in my handbag. Gary boomed with laughter. Ha! You think you've got something in your handbag I cannot lift, lady? Are you mad? And the little lady said, yes, I do. So Gary said, fine, strapped on his gloves nice and tight to make sure he wouldn't hurt his wrists. Lifting this heavy thing the woman had in her handbag, said, "Fine, lady, put it down on my table." The little old lady pulled out a tiny sewing needle and put it down on Gary's table. And try as he might, Gary could not get his fingers around that needle. And the lady won the prize. This little old lady realized she had something that Gary did not. She realized she could sew beautiful clothes for grandchildren. She had strength that this mighty man could never have. And that is what Hashem was telling Aharon with this command. Hashem was telling Aharon, don't look over your shoulder. Don't look to the person next to you, seeing what they have that you do not. Look at yourself. Look at the amazing potential within yourself. Look at what you can do that others cannot. Look at myself, at how I can go around using my strengths, my amazing capabilities to help other people. Shabbat Shalom, be well.